Hi, welcome to Vapor Veda. Today, we are bringing you a quick overview of our latest blog post powered by NotebookLM.
Hey, welcome. So today, we're jumping right into something that hits almost every student out there, academic pressure. We're going to talk about how you can cut through that brain fog and really sharpen your focus. But here's the twist. We're not talking about another energy drink. We're talking about natural, science-backed tools. All right, let's get into it. So, check out this number right away, 73%. That's nearly 3/4 of all students who say they have a really hard time concentrating when they're supposed to be studying. So, if you've ever been reading a page and suddenly realize you have no idea what you just read, yeah, you're definitely not alone. You're in the huge majority. And this isn't just about being a little distracted, right? It shows up as these really specific and, honestly, super frustrating things. You get that classic brain fog where your thoughts feel fuzzy, that mental fatigue that hits you way too early in a study session, and just that feeling of being completely overwhelmed by it all. Which kind of leads to this big important question. Is this just part of the deal? Do you have to feel burnt out just to get good grades and succeed? Well, I'm here to tell you the answer is a hard no. It doesn't have to be that way. So before we jump into the solutions, let's just take a second to understand what's really going on here. We're looking at what you could call the student-focused crisis. I mean, think about it. Students today are dealing with a perfect storm of pressures. You've got your phone buzzing with endless digital distractions. You've got intense academic pressure to always be on top of your game. Then there's social stress, maybe a part-time job, and on top of it all, this constant weight of trying to plan your entire future. It's a lot. No wonder our brains just feel overloaded. So faced with all that, what do most of us do? We reach for the usual suspects, traditional stimulants. That can mean way too much caffeine, which, leads to the jitters and that awful crash later, or sometimes even pharmaceuticals, which can create these dependency cycles and totally wreck your sleep. But there is another way, a natural approach, one that's all about sustainable support in long-term brain health, not just a quick fix that leaves you drained. So where do we even find these kinds of natural solutions? Well, it turns out the answer lies in this really cool intersection of ancient herbal wisdom that's now being backed up and proven by modern science. So let me introduce you to a key idea here. It's called Meghya Rasayana. Now, that's a term from traditional Indian Ayurveda, and it basically refers to a special class of herbs that are known to be cognitive enhancers. You can just think of them as nature's original brain boosters. And a big part of this tradition involves a practice called nasya, which is just a term for nasal administration. In Ayurveda, this is seen as the most direct route to the brain. And that actually helps explain why modern aromatherapy, using scent, can have such an incredibly fast and powerful effect on our minds. Okay, so the theory is fascinating, but how do you actually use any of this? Let's get really practical here with a few specific science-backed rituals that you can literally start using today. First up, let's talk about mastering the 90-minute focus cycle. See, our brains naturally work in these 90-minute waves of peak alertness. So the trick is to work with that rhythm, not against it. By using aromatherapy about 15 minutes before you start, and then again during your 15-minute breaks, you're basically syncing up with your brain. It's a really simple way to stay sharp and avoid that burnout. Second, you want to think bigger picture. Build a holistic strategy. Aromatherapy is amazing for that immediate boost of focus, but for real long-term results, you want to combine it with other things. That means addressing the root causes of brain fog, like stress, and really dialing in those fundamentals, like what you eat and how much you sleep. And third, this is a big one, create a pre-exam protocol. This is your game day ritual. About an hour before, have a light meal, 30 minutes out, do some deep breathing with aromatherapy to really calm your nerves. Then, just 10 minutes before, do one last session while visualizing yourself succeeding. Routines like this are actually proven to help boost test scores. So we've gone through the how-to, but I'm sure you're wondering, okay, but does this stuff really work? Well, let's dive into the science of scent and look at the actual hard data. And listen, this isn't just about what people say works for them. The benefits we're talking about are documented. They're backed by legitimate, peer-reviewed scientific research. Let me show you what I mean. Take this, for example. A recent university study from 2023 found that students who used rosemary aromatherapy boosted their memory retention by 15% compared to the group that didn't. I mean, come on, during finals week, a 15% edge is a huge deal. And what about speed? Get this. peppermint aromatherapy was shown to increase alertness by 27% in just 5 minutes. That is literally faster than it takes for a cup of coffee to even start kicking in, and you get none of the jitters. And we can actually see this happening inside the brain. Using fMRI scans, scientists watched what happened when people inhaled camphor. They saw a 12% increase in blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. That's your brain's command center, and boosted connectivity between memory centers. And these changes were measurable in under 90 seconds. And this isn't just from 1 or 2 isolated studies. A huge meta-analysis that looked at 23 different studies confirmed all kinds of benefits. We're talking about a 22% improvement in test scores, a 28% increase in attention span, a 35% drop in study anxiety, even a 41% improvement in stress management. The evidence is just really, really compelling. So, when you put this all together, what does it really mean for you and your study habits? Well, it means you have access to a much smarter and, frankly, more sustainable strategy for success. Let's just break this down real quick. Caffeine gives you that short-term boost, but it comes with a crash. Prescription stimulants can work, but they carry some serious risks. But this herbal and aromatic approach, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. You get those immediate effects to help you in the moment, plus cumulative long-term benefits that build up over the semester. It's all about sustained improvement, not just a temporary fix. So if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. You are not powerless against brain fog and academic pressure. You have natural, you have effective, and you have powerful tools right at your fingertips to take back control of your focus and your performance. Ultimately, it all boils down to this simple but really powerful idea. You can sharpen your mind, you can ace your exams, and you can achieve your full potential, all in a natural way. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if the real key to unlocking that next level of success isn't about pulling another all-nighter, but it's something as simple and as powerful as your very next breath?
Enjoyed this? Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video.